to all the dear students. Chapter number 19, Cumulative Frequency Curve or an Ojive, which is our chapter number 19, Histogram and Cumulative Frequency Curve part. Half we have solved, half is remaining. So here are the solutions and explanation. Hello all dear friends. Now today chapter number 19, I have already explained you histogram, but it was remaining to explain cumulative frequency curve, or the other name for it is Ojive. Ojive is the part of the statistics, students, and generally it is used to get the measures. Which are the measures here? We can find median and quartiles using Ojive curve. So students, by the name only you can understand that this is cumulative frequency curve. What is the meaning of cumulative? Cumulative means जो frequency है उसको add करके जाना है आपको one by one. I will explain you by drawing the Ojive कि आपको जो data दिया होगा उसमें एक कॉलम जो होगा वो होगा क्लास इंटरवल्स एंड सेकेंड कॉलम विल बी द फ्रीक्वेंसीज. तो फ्रीक्वेंसीज को वन बाय वन जब ऐड करते हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसीज. सो यूजिंग दैट ओनली वी विल ड्रॉ अवर Ojive. So why we are drawing Ojive? Again because to get the measures of some values like median and quartiles, and sometimes some marks are there or percentiles are there, more than, less than, this type of questions you will be asked when we solve the Ojive. One more thing students, there are two types of Ojive. One is, so I am writing here, types of Ojive. So there are two types. First is less than Ojive and second is more than Ojive. So by the name only, less than Ojive means and more than Ojive means, I will explain you by taking example of one question. Students, less than Ojive always to be drawn like from downside to upside, and more than Ojive always to be drawn from upside to downside. So these are the difference. This is the less than Ojive and this is the more than Ojive. So these are the differences in the curves. The figure you can see tentatively I have drawn. This type of figures you can see in less than and more than Ojive. So now let us take one example to understand our Ojive concept. Now I have taken exercise 19C question number 2, which is draw a cumulative frequency curve. Question number B I am taking. I will explain you different questions and how to draw in different questions the frequency curve, or you can say Ojive. So here is class interval and frequency. Already you are given this data in your textbook, question number 2B. First here 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, all the class intervals up to 35 to 40 given, and accordingly we are given the frequencies 20, 23, 25 up to 60. So students, by the name only, first of all we have to make the table here in which we will write frequencies, or you can say cumulative frequency. So I write here Ci and here cumulative frequency, which in a short way we write Cf. So now I write Ci, there are class intervals 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, all the class intervals in a vertical way I am writing so that we can count our cumulative frequencies 30 to 35. Students, while you draw it in your graph paper, you have to write all these things on the right side of your graph page. Now one more column let me first write here, which is of frequency. So students, this whole data first we will copy down in a horizontal vertical way, and then last is cumulative frequency, right? CF. So now I have made one table here. You also have to form the table. Now writing all the frequencies accordingly to the classes here. 23, then 25, 28, then 30, 21, 28 and last is 16. Now students, we have to start with the first class. The cumulative frequency remains same because there is no class before it. Next to it, it will be 20 plus 23. So it means it is 43 here. Next to it, 43 plus 25. Now you have to check here, adding like this. So 5 plus 3, 8, 4 plus 2, 6, 68. Now 68 plus 28. So we write 96. 96 plus 30. So here 6, 126. 126 plus 21. So I write 147. 147 plus 28. 175. And 175 plus 16. 191. Let us check again whether we have written all the frequencies correctly or not. Now here we have drawn our table. So the last value here is the total of all the frequencies. So this 191, we denote it as n value. Now students, we can draw our graph. So I am drawing first axis here. This way. 2 axes we need. So you also have to draw in your graph page by leaving two boxes from downside, and from the left hand side draw the axis. X axis and Y axis, and this is the origin. If our first class start with 0, it means we should not draw kink here or the breakage. The kink means that zigzag line which we draw. Like I have explained you in histogram that if it is starting with 0, then you should not draw any kink. But if the class interval start with another number, then you have to make the break here or the zigzag line which is called kink. So students, here we have to see only the upper limits of our class intervals, which are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 and 40, which we will take on the x-axis. So starting with that only 5, 10 with 1 centimeter gap, we will write it 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You check, last one is 40. So we stop here, correct? Now we have to check the CF up to 191. So which class or what is the scale we have to choose on the y-axis, because y-axis we are going to take cumulative frequencies. So here 20, 43, 191. So we have to take up to 200. Correct? So I will take like 1 centimeter is 10. So I think it is easily will be coming on your graph book up to 200. Correct? So taking like this 10 centimeters gap. 10. Then here 20. This is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. Then 110, 120, 130, 140. Taking more line, extending my line here. So 150, 60, 70, 80 and 90. It will be here 190 and 200. Correct? Because we need up to 191. So I have taken up to 200. Always on the right hand side of the corner you have to write your scales. So x axis and y axis. Both the scales, it is not compulsory to take same or similar. You can take different scales on both the axes. So here on x-axis I have chosen 1 centimeter is equal to 5. You can see 5 centimeters gap. And on the y-axis I have chosen 1 centimeter is equal to 10. So accordingly I have written here scales. Now we have to take the first cumulative frequency, which is 20. So 5, 20. I put here dot first, then 10, that is the upper limit. Only you have to check the upper limit. And students, one more thing, here the classes are continuously. There are no gaps. It means there is no exclusive class intervals here. So we have to just write them as it is. Here 10, so 43. So 10 here, 43. So after 43 points you have to take here. You know that if 10 by 10, there are two types of boxes, students, in your graph books. If there are 10 by 10 like this, small line, so this is 10 by 10, correct? So in which you will get 43 very easily. At the third line after 40 you will get 43. But if you have the box having 5 by 5, means 5 lines only, means 25 box only, like this, then you have to take accordingly, like 1 box is equal to 2. So 43 will be after 1 box half, like that, correct? So that you can understand accordingly, students. Now the third is 15, 68. So 15 here in the straight line, 63, again 63 here after 63 lines if you have 10 by 10 graph page. Next is 20, 96. 20, 96 here. After 6 lines you will get 25, 126. 25, 126. Here we get 30. 30 you see 147. 30 will be 147 here. 35, 175. 175 here. And 40 is last 191, which is after 191 line. So this way we get our, and we have to join these points only using the free hand curve. Means you don't have to use scales. Any type of scale not allowed strictly. Only you have to use your hand and draw just with a free hand, as I am drawing here, students. You have to join the lines accordingly. So this is our less than type of frequency curve. So here you can see the shape is from down to upward. So only I am explaining you now how to draw Ojive. Now next I will take how to draw medians and quartiles using Ojive. One more question I will explain you. Now taking one more example, which is question number 2. Draw a cumulative frequency curve. Class interval we are given here 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69. And these are the frequencies given to us. Now students, here you can see the class intervals are not inclusive type. Okay, so we have to convert them into inclusive by taking adjustment factor. I think all of you understand what is adjustment factor. I am explaining you here. You see that second class lower limit and first class upper limit, the gap between them is of 1. So we take the gap of them 1 divided by 2. It means 0.5 is the adjustment factor here. So if you want to convert this into inclusive type, then what should we do? We will take from our lower limit minus 0.5 and from upper limit plus 0.5. It means how it changed, I am writing here. I am writing first class as 9.5 to 19.5 by taking this adjustment factor. Then second class minus 0.5 from 20. So 19.5 to 29.5. Next is 29.5 to 39.5. Next here 39.5 to 49.5. Next is 49.5 to 59.5. Next is 59.5 to 69.5. So by adjustment you can see now class intervals are in the inclusive form. It means if they are in continuous form, there is no gap in between. So always when you need to draw cumulative frequency curve or Ojive, your classes must be in a continuous form only. Then only you can draw Ojive. So you have to convert them if they are not given in a continuous form. Now I write according frequencies 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So now we take all the cumulative frequencies, start with 10 plus 15, 25, plus 20, 45, plus 25, 70. 70 plus 30, 100. 100 plus 35, 135. So this way, students, you need to get your cumulative frequencies. So now let us draw cumulative frequency curve using graph page. So after doing this much work, all this work you have to do on the right side of your graph page, which is the line page given to you. Now let us draw the axis, x and y axis. So this is x-axis, y-axis, origin. Now students, next work is you need to decide your scale on x-axis first. So you see x-axis what we are going to take, only the upper limits. So upper limits are 19.5, 29.5. So let me write here what we are taking on our x-axis. They are only the upper limits. Remember this thing. Okay, and on the y-axis what do we take? We are taking cumulative frequencies. It means CF. Okay, so now this is 19.5 to 69.5, 10 centimeter gap. And one more thing, here in this data you are not given the first interval start with 0. It means first thing, what should I take? I will rub my first box line and just draw the kink here this way, right? Then students, I will start from here, first writing 19.5, then the next is 29.5, all the upper limits I will write here, 39.5, next is 49.5, next is 59.5, 69.5 is the last upper limit you are given. So here you can see how much gaps in between them. They are of 10 centimeter gaps. It means I can write 1 centimeter 10 on the x-axis, the scale we have taken. Now let us think of this CF which we are going to write on our y-axis. So you see from 10 to 135 we need the numbers. Okay, so you can choose accordingly students, 5 gaps also okay, and up to you have to go up to 140, right? So if you choose 5 gaps it is okay, or you can choose 10 gaps. Let me choose 10 centimeter gap. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Then we have to go further up to 140. So 110, 120, 130 and last is 140. This is y-axis, correct? So here also we have chosen 10 gaps. It means 1 centimeter 10 gap I have taken. Now let us start drawing or just putting the points. First is 10. So CF I put here 10, first one. Then second is 25. So 29.5 is in between of 20 and 30. Then 39.5 is 45. So it is in between of 40 and 50. Then 49.5 is 70. So it will come here 70. Then it is 59.5 which is 100. So 59.5 directly 100 here. 69.5 is 135. It lies between 130 and 140. So these are the points marked. Now only with the help of your hand and pencil you have to join these dots like in a free hand curve. So students, this way you can join it. And this line you have to join here with 0 always. So this is your cumulative frequency curve, or you can say ogive of your question number 2, in which you are not given continuous classes. So first work is by using adjustment factor. You have to convert the classes into the continuous way and then you have to find CF. Always by drawing an ogive, we have to take upper limits on the x-axis and cumulative frequency or CF on the y-axis. Students, you can choose your own this scales on x-axis and y-axis. It is not compulsory to take the same. You can choose your own, but it should be correct at all the time. Now students, taking one more example, question number 4. Draw an ogive from the table. So here is the table given to us, which are marks and cumulative frequency. So marks are 0 and more, means 0 to 10, then 10 and more. So 10 to 20, 20 and more, so 20 to 30, and 30 and more means 30 to 40, and 40 and more means 40 and next to it. We don't know how much is next, but students, here we have to draw more than ogive. Why? Because you are given cumulative frequencies, in which you can see the first is 100, which is the more than ogive cumulative frequencies. In more than type of ogive, cumulative frequencies are always from bigger to less numbers. You can see it is gradually decreasing its cumulative frequencies. And now we have to directly draw this without making any table, because this table is already given to you. But students, while drawing more than ogive, you have to take care that on the x-axis you have to take the lower limits. In the our less than ogive, I explained you that you have to draw the upper limits, but here you have to take lower limits. So which are the lower limits? You can see 0. So first is 0, then it is 10, 20, 30 and 40. So this much only we need lower limits, and upper limits you can see up to 100. It is enough. So we can just take this, we rub this and just write it up to here, y-axis, cumulative frequencies here up to 100. Now let us mark the points and draw the more than type of ogive. So first of all, 10, you can see, 0. 0 is 100. So that will be marked on the y-axis itself. Then next to it is 96. So lower limit is 10. So we have to take 10 and 96 will be somewhere here. Then 20. So 20 here and 68. 68 will be marked here. Next is 30. So 30 and 26. 26 be marked here between 20 and 30. Then 46 only. So 40 is here and 6 means here somewhere. So this way, after putting the points, you have to join them using your pencil only. Do not use scale. Again I am telling you, you don't have to use the scale. Just take the free hand and draw like this. Okay, so this is your more than type of ogive. Again, we need to write your scales which are already written 1 centimeter 10 and 1 centimeter 10 on both the axis. So this is the example of more than type of ogive. So students, you all have to understand that in more than type, always from up to down. If in the question you are not given cumulative frequencies directly, only the frequencies are given, then you need to make the table to get your cumulative frequencies accordingly. That I will take one more example to explain you students. So this way you can understand that how you can draw your ogive. You can join this line like this way, dotted here, to the next class interval, that is the next lower limit. So this is the example number 4, exercise 19C, how to draw more than type of ogive. Now taking students exercise 19D, question number 4. Students, in this question we have to find median. So the question is, the following are the marks obtained by 50 students. Here we are given two columns, marks less than and number of students. Marks less than means 10 and less than it, 20 and less than it, 30 and less than, like this. Okay, so and these are the frequencies, that are the number of students given. So here I write marks first, or you can write class interval. So for that 0 to 10, less than that is 0 only, marks start with always 0, and less than so 10. Now next is 10 to 20, then next is 20 to 30, then 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60 is the last class interval. Now here we write the frequency accordingly: 4, 10, 30, 40, then it is 47 and 50. Now we write cumulative frequency. So for that we need to write the first as it is. Next we add 10 to it, I get 14. Next is 14 plus 30, I get 44. 44 plus 40 is 84. 84 plus 47, 131. 131 plus 50, 181. So students, now I will explain you how to draw first ogive and how to draw median from it. So this is our n value. So n we found here 181. So first of all, I will explain you how to draw ogive. The question is here, draw an ogive and find the median marks from it. So one more line here, find median marks from it. This is the question here first. Now, as you know the method, this is the less than type of ogive, means we write here marks, or you can write only the upper limit. So I write 10, 20. See, class start from 0. So we do not put any kink here. Right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. So the gaps in between is 10. So the x-axis scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 10. Now check here. The cumulative frequencies are from 4 to 181. Means we need to extend our line here. So I write here 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180 and 190. Till 190 we need, because 181 is the last one. So now let us put the point. First is 4. 10, 4 is here somewhere. Students, again I am telling you that in your graph paper you have to put this accordingly. So while drawing median, it is very important to draw the ogive correctly. Then only you get median marks correctly. At the very sharp answer we need here. Now 20, 14. So here after 10 I put the point. Next is 30, 44. 44 is here. So 40 is 84. So 84 lies here. 50 is 131. So 130 and 1. So 131 is here. And last 60 is 181. So you see it is somewhere here 181. Now I join it first using my freehand curve. Like this you have to join. While join also you have to not take more curves. Only while joining whatever the hand you have to turn the hand. Okay. Now students, we need to draw median. So the method to draw median is, already the last value of cumulative frequency we found here, n value, which is 181, and median formula is n plus 1 by 2. But students, here while drawing ogive we will take our median is equal to n by 2. Here it is 181 divided by 2. So 2 9s are 18. Zeros are and 0.5. So 90.5 is the median value by the calculation. First we have to find like this, using median is equal to n by 2. N means 181, which is the value we found at the last of our cumulative frequency table, divided by 2. So I get 90.5. Right. Now I have to take this value. Now we have to take this 90.5 on our y-axis. So where this value lies? It lies in between 90 and 100. So if you have 10 gap or 10 by 10 centimeters box, then in a one line only you have to put point here, or you have 5 by 5, then it is 90 के बाद एक लाइन जो आएगा वहां पे आपका 90.5 हो जाएगा. Now students, to draw this median line you need to use the scale. पहले आपको ये 90.5 के डॉट लगा दिया, उसके बाद आपको स्केल लेना है और स्ट्रेट अवे स्केल से आपको लाइन ड्रॉ करना है which will meet your ogive line. वहां पे स्टॉप हो जाना है. अब वो ही स्ट्रेट लाइन जहां पे आप यहाँ स्टॉप हो गए हैं, वहां से ही आपको स्ट्रेट अवे नीचे जो आपकी एक्स एक्सिस है वहां पे आपको स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉ करना होगा. सो नाउ आफ्टर ड्रॉइंग दिस लाइन फ्रॉम 90.5 I will take it straight away here. You can see straight away I am joining. See, my lines are not perfect, students. But you have to understand, I am not having scale and I am not having my particular graph grids. So these lines are also not correctly, exactly. So please, you have to understand, in your graph page, you will get perfect answer if you put the perfect points and draw it accordingly. So here, this is the median value which I found between 20 and 30. 20 और 30 के बीच में वो कहाँ पे टच हो रहा है वो लाइन आपको काउंट करना पड़ेगा. So here it is 28 जैसा है और 28 के बाद उसके ऊपर थोड़ा जा रहा है. It means median value here I found is 28.5. This is approximate value, students. So always you need to write approx because ये जो सारे वैल्यूज है वो अप्रोक्सीमेट है. जैसे आपने फिजिक्स या केमिस्ट्री में देखा होगा कि बाय कैलकुलेशन यूजिंग फॉर्मूला आपको कोई अलग वैल्यू मिलेगा और डूइंग दिस एज अ एक्सपेरिमेंट आपको थोड़ा सा वेरिएशन मिलेगा. सो सेम वे दिस इज अवर ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ मीडियन वैल्यू, जो कि आपको थोड़ा सा अप्रोक्सीमेट थोड़ा एवरीबॉडी स्टूडेंट्स नाउ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस वैल्यू उसमें माइनस और प्लस और माइनस 0.2 वैल्यू का डिफरेंस चलेगा. मीन्स अगर 28.4 आ गया देन इट इज गुड, 28.3 आ गया देन ऑल्सो इट इज गुड, 28.67 आ गया देन ऑल्सो इट इज गुड. बट आगे का वैल्यू जो है आपको वो ध्यान रखना है, वो नियर बाय एग्जैक्टली होना चाहिए. सो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन ड्रॉ योर मीडियन यूजिंग ग्राफ. दिस इज कॉल्ड ओजाइव एंड हाउ टू ड्रॉ. Always students, after finding your value you have to draw an arrow here और इसको आपको शो करना है median value 28.5 like this. Here there is marks, so marks does not have any units. You just need to write median is equal to 28.5. That's it. So this is the example, student, I have given. Now you have to do all the rest of the question using the same method in your graph book of exercise 19C and 19D. Students, this is exercise 19D question number 7. So let us understand this question first, how I am representing it graphically. So the question is, represent the following data by a cumulative frequency curve and locate the median and quartiles graphically. So here we are given data as income in rupees and number of persons. They are the frequencies. As you can see in this question, first of all I have written income. You can see this is the income. Here the last class is given first and the first class is given last. So I have arranged it accordingly: 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. Also I have arranged all the frequencies accordingly of the class given to us and then found cumulative frequency which is known as CF. How to find cumulative frequencies? First I write 50, 50 plus 100, 150, 150 plus 150, 300, 300 plus 200, 500. 500 plus 200, 700, 700 plus 100, 800. So here students, this is the total value or you can say n value here which we found at the last of our CF value. Now let us start drawing it graphically. So here you can see I have already drawn the grids. This is our x-axis. Horizontally from last two boxes I have left, and this is origin intersection of x and y axis. Students, this is the y axis I denote here. Now as you know, on the x axis always upper limit should be marked. So here I will take 1 box is equal to 10 centimeter. You can also see that my graph book is having one box 10 by 10 boxes. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. You can also take 2 centimeter is equal to 10 students. So it will come up to here. So you can choose the scale accordingly. Now cumulative frequency always we have to arrange on the y-axis. Now taking here on the y-axis according scales, we need up to 800. So I will start with 50 by 1 centimeter, 50. So 2 centimeter, 100. Here will be 150. Again students, you can choose your own scale accordingly. It should be correct only. 250. Then next is 300. 350 here. This is 400. This is 450. 500. 550. 600. 650. 700. 750. And last is 800. So this is how our grids look. You can see. I will write on the right corner here x-axis scale and y-axis scale. So on x-axis it is 1 centimeter is equal to 10. On y-axis it is 1 centimeter equal to 50 persons. Because there are number of persons given, you can write 1 centimeter equal to 50 persons. And this is the income on the x-axis. So you can write 1 centimeter rupees 10 accordingly. Now according to our cumulative frequency, let us start putting our points. Students, here first class starts from 0 only. So we do not need here kink to put. So I do not put the kink. I start directly putting points. 10, 50, the first. You have to see your data here students. This is 10, which is the upper limit, and the cumulative frequency is 50. So we have to start from that only. 10 and this is 50. Next is 20, 150. So I put the point here 150. Next is 30, 300. So that will be here. You can see here, except here you will get the points. 40, 500. So it will be here. Exactly in the line of 40 only you have to check. 50 will be 700. So 700 here. Exactly. Then last is 60, 800. So that will be here. So now students, by putting the points, we have to join this curve accordingly. You can see how I am joining. I am not taking a curve shape, just joining the lines with free hand. You have not to move your hand. This way you can draw it. Now, the question is you have to also find the median. So to find the median, first of all, we have to calculate here. So on the right side of your page, you write here median is equal to n by 2. This is the formula. So n value is 800 here. So 800 by 2 will be 400. So 400 is your median here. Now let us draw it on the y-axis. So where this 400 is, here it is. So I will put a point here. Take my scale and put it horizontally to draw a line. So here you can see that I have joined this 400 horizontally first to meet the ogive, and then the straight line towards the downward, which will meet our x-axis. So you can see students here where this x-axis meet, that point is between 30 and 40 and which is exactly at the mid value. So I write here median. So what is the value of median here? This is 35. So I write here 35. Also, I need to show it on the right hand side of my page here, answer. So median is equal to 35 approx. Right? So now, second is quartiles. Both the quartiles
means we have to find Q1 and Q3 both. Q1 is always n by 4. So n is 800 and divide by 4. So 4 2s are 8, it becomes 200. And Q3 is equal to 3n by 4. It means if I multiply this value by 3, then I get my Q3 value. So that is 3 2s are 600. Now let us draw graphically. So for that I will take graph. This is 200 here. So this is the point from where I will join this horizontally and then vertically. Same method as we did in our median.
So as I have shown you here that 200 here, horizontal line, this is the Q1 value I found, students. You can see this is between 20 and 30 and this is the third line after 20. It means the value of Q1 is 23. And 600 I have taken here, which is Q3 value. So by joining it to the horizontally and then vertically, here straight line must be there. It is exactly between 40 and 50. You can see this is 50. So this line where the arrow is marked, so that is exactly 45 and this is Q3 value. So Q3 is 45. So now after finding the values, let me write it on the right hand side of the page here. So Q1 value is 23 approx and Q3 value is 45 approx. Students, some of the students are doing this type of mistake. They just find this Q1 and Q3 value and they do not show it graphically and do not also get the answer from graph. Actually, the question is that you have to locate in the graph median and quartiles and also you have to solve it graphically. Means you have to get this answer. This is our answer of median graphically. This is the lower quartile and this is the upper quartile. So this way question number 7 is solved. So you can see again, students, this is the calculation which I have made on the right hand side of the page and this is the graph page where on the right hand side of the page I have written the scale, x-axis and y-axis scale, and this is how the graph is drawn. So this way you also have to draw all the graphs in your graph book properly and neatly. All the lines should be marked very neatly. If there is dirty work, they cut the marks in board exams.